All right, let's go ahead and get into the next one, and it is 35 seconds long. Politics.
Here in the United States, the political system has hurt people of color more than others. People of color have more obstacles to voting. In 2016, 1 out of every 13 African Americans couldn't vote due to a felony conviction, compared to 1 out of 56 white Americans. People of color are more likely to have to wait in line to vote. They are more likely to have trouble finding their polling location and finding a time to vote. They are less likely to have an ID to vote.
So here's where, because to me, this is even conservative logic. It's just thinking things through. I said this before in a recent video that I'm not opposed to voter ID. I'm not. Where you get your opposition from me is the obstruction that's in place that makes it hard for people to get the voter ID. It's kind of like the abortion issue. I am not pro-abortion. I'm pro-rights. I'm pro a woman being able to make the decisions for herself, what she does with her body. But I absolutely would prefer to see less abortions in this country, period. The difference is how we get there. So for me, I say before you can outlaw abortion, you need to make it easier for people to not have to face that particular choice, right? You need to make sure it's easier for them to bring forth claims of rape and incest. You got to stiffen the punishments that come from it. You got to make sure that the poverty situation in this country is ameliorated on some level. We got to make sure that prenatal care is free and easily accessed, period. Like, there's things we need to do, and if you do those things, guess what? Less people will have abortion. Now, there's going to be those who have an elective abortion. There's nothing you can do about that. That's them. But that is a really small amount of people. So if you really want to get to this end result, what are you trying to do to get there? And I know I went down the abortion path, but it's easier for people to process that. When you think about voting, the voting ID, it's a similar thing, just different in scale. You want to make sure there's less fraud? So you think ID is the way to do that? Then let's make it easier for people to get ID. In fact, you've already done it, America, because in many places you can use a fishing or a hunting license for your voting ID. Where I live at in Georgia, I was able to use my concealed carry permit to vote if I wanted to. So you have multiple ways to do this ID thing if you want to. Let's make it easier for people to get the ID, whether it be state ID or whatever it may be. And then there you go. But the thing is, that's not what you actually want. What you want are less people to vote. What you want is to make sure that only select types of people can vote. You won't even go so far as to say you only want educated people to vote, because if you do that, a lot of you, the trolls out there, you wouldn't be allowed to vote. So you just want to cherry pick who can vote. And that's where we end up with the obstruction, because they can't say that, right? So they go all around it.